This is my show, Sema na Flossie, and please kindly subscribe, share, and like it. And if you may be interested to share your story, kindly reach me. Thank you. Hello guys, today I'm so happy to meet this great man here who I've learned so much about him, and I was once told by many that he was a policeman, but as you can see today, we're seeing him as a farmer. So I'd like him to introduce himself so that you may know him.
Welcome. I served in the Kenya Police Force for 13 years, and I later on now retired from my job due to some difficulties we passed through while at the job. And for now I have worked in this state for 15 years, which means the years I worked while at work is fewer than the years I've now worked in my farm. And I just want to say that this work is good. It has helped me because the time I left the job, my first born was in standard 2. The second born was in standard 1, and the third born was in baby class. And now as I speak like this, the first born is winding up her 4th year in the university, and the second born is now doing her degree, and the third born is in a high school. And therefore I can be able to, when I look back, I'm able to see that actually this work has benefited me a lot.
Mr. Callistus, can you tell us how was the transition from being a police officer to a farmer? How you decided you are going to be a farmer, and the time that took you?
At the time I was leaving the work, I was thinking I would go to white-collar jobs, like being a shopkeeper. And actually I had focused on being a shopkeeper, and then also doing the business of motorbike, being a porter. But I tried to do that business, and it actually could not bear fruit. I realized that I was going for a loss, and I decided to join farming.
Can you kindly tell us how now you survive? Because when you are a police officer, you used to survive on your salary, but now here, as you are a farmer, I know that when you sell these vegetables, is when you get the money. So kindly tell us.
It is true that when at work we used to get the salary, and it was good. The salary was actually not bad. It was good, it would earn us, and it would help us so much. But at the same time also, at the end of the month, when days were nearing, even at the end of the month, you find you have no money. Sometimes the money, even it ends on 15th, by 15th or 16th of the month. You find that all your resources has been exploited, and you go to borrow, even in the shops. You go to the shops and begin borrowing. Therefore, as much as we could be getting a lot of money, that money could not help us so much. It could not help us so much. But I don't mean now that it did not help us. It actually helped us because through it I bought the farm, almost 1 acre of land, which means it had also some advantages. But I want to believe that even as I transfer to this job, I will get more time now. I find it better than when I was in police.
So sahii vile hizi mboga umezipanda hivi, tunaona ziko nyingi sana hadi ile side ya huko. So what would like to know ni sahii hizi mboga unapeleka shule ama soko ama ni wapi unaziuza?
These vegetables, I have tenders in schools. So I supply in schools. You find that schools require a lot of vegetables. And also at this time, when there is drought, people come to buy. So you find that almost daily, at least you have money in your pocket. At least we have money in our pocket.
And as we all know that since March up to, let's say like August, the corona effect ilifanya vitu nyingi sana, economy ikaharibika, mashule zilifunga, na vile umetuambia ati ulikuwa unapeleka mboga mashule. So what were the effects that you faced?
It was actually hard work because we had no customers. People, we used to depend on the people who buy and eat from home. But at the same time, those people do not have money. And others could even decide to go without vegetables. They would not really just rely on vegetables. There are a variety of things they could depend on. So we had a very serious problem. Actually, we were faced with a lot of economic problems because we had needed to invest even in these farms. The way you see these vegetables, it's not as we had decided. Why? Because it needs capital, it needs people to work in, it needs fertilizer, and therefore once the capital is shaken, you are not able to go as you are doing. Therefore, there is that reduced amount of income as per now. We are trying to hustle. We just work through hustling to be able to reach this far.
Kile naweza kuuliza ingine ni hizi sukuma zinapandwa na season ama mtu anapanda tu anytime?
To us, it is almost daily because the market is required almost each time. Like me, throughout the year, I plant vegetables from January to December. And like even now in the dry season, we are able to use this river. We use this river to irrigate, to do irrigation. And therefore, but now in the time of rain, we don't work near this place because there are floods always. Therefore, there is a short season. This one here we work for a short season, and the also requirement for sukuma is that it requires moist ground. Therefore, during rain, we have to work in the lands that are not near the river, and it really helps us. It is just normally shifting during rain from the place of the rivers to the land, to the dry lands.
Here we see there's a big farm, let's say like, hata siwezi sema ni eka ama ni plot just, but I know that it needs a lot of people to work on. So kindly tell us penye unatoa watu ndo wakusaidia hii kazi, or you just do it by yourself?
Yeah, this farm is 1 acre of land, and even as you can see, there are already people in the farm helping me. We pay the money, and we also have to pay for to incur for irrigation. we also encourage for that. And then there's also times of supply when we are taking to the market. We transport for the people going to the market. And there's much also challenges. As much as there's benefits in it, there are also challenges. But at the end of the day, as you see, they work like this. We pay them almost some money, almost some money. And we need more. Even these ones, there are others who come in the evening, there are others who comes in the morning. So we pay money. And we also incur the cost of insecticides, dealing with the insecticides. We deal with fertilizer. Those are the costs that we incur to bring these vegetables to where it is. Therefore, just like any other business, you need to invest. The much you invest, the more you harvest.
I know now that you are self-employed, but once you are employed by the government. So can you tell us, I know there are the disadvantages of being self-employed and there are also disadvantages. Kindly share with us the advantages.
Yeah, I want to say that self-employment is the best as compared to the work I used to do. Why? I've utilized all my resources, all my knowledge, and I earn it all. Like when you are employed, the employer can get more than what you deserve to get. But now that when you are self-employed, you can earn everything. You eat the money of the employer and for yourself. What I'm meaning is that you actually, there is no much loss. Sometimes there's a disadvantage to the people who are hardworking. When the work is done in group, sometimes a person who is hardworking suffers. And also a lazy man gains more. So what I want to say is that self-employment is good. Now, like this time, I'll get the whole money is mine. When I get the harvest, and it also helps me to be intelligent in planning. Because when you are a businessman, you have to plan. You have to work. And therefore it shapes us to a level of being intelligent, and also to a level of being lifted. Because when I see the time I used to work, I could get salary, yes. But the money I get now is more than when I used to work. What I want just to encourage you is that people, or what you want to say, people believe they should just be employed. People normally believe like that. Even in rural land, when somebody is not employed, people may not value him much. But when he's working, they feel there's a lot of money. But I've come to believe that when you are self-employed, you earn more. You earn more. You can employ people. Now, like me, I employ people on my farm. Get people to work for me. Get people to transport vegetables to the market. Get people to... There's so many areas. You become an employer. You can raise to be an employer to some people. You can create an employment opportunity. And the only disadvantage is when it meets the people who are irresponsible. Sometimes when this business finds a person who is irresponsible, it becomes hard. It needs somebody who is vigilant. somebody who is able to plan, somebody who is able to work, then you find things becomes well.
And what can you tell the youths, let's say like the youth, people like us who don't have jobs, and maybe people who have resigned from their jobs, what can you tell them so that they can learn from you?
I just want to encourage these people that the end of work is not the end of life. And the end of work might not be the beginning of sorrow as people take it. The end of work for unemployment may be an open door to another victory, because resources are everywhere. There are people in this town who require people to help them. There are services that actually have not been exploited. Even in this area of ours, there are resources that we find that people who need labor, who need services. If you are self-employed, you can create a room for your own benefit. I want to encourage the youth and even my own children. Right now, they are all doing business. I asked them, why do you feel like you should do business? They said, we saw you the time you are working and the time you are a businessman, and we have seen the difference. One of the first girl, the first one told me, Father, you suffered the time you are working, and I don't want to take that pain. And now, like people think, when people are leaving work, they feel so painful because they are used to be given, to be just given money, to be given money during work. They can still also be self-employed and be employers for others. They can employ people, even in the farms the way we are doing. They can create opportunities for others. And that's what I can say. The end of the work is not the end of life. The end of the job might not be the beginning of poverty. The end of the job might be the beginning of victory in one's life. Therefore, I encourage those people who have lost their jobs just to seek opportunities. They can still be self-employed. They can still be self-employed.
Thank you so much, Mr. Callistus, for sharing with us your story. And you've made us learn a lot of things. I've also learned that the end of your job is not the beginning of poverty, and also the end of job might be the start of your victory. Thank you so much.
Welcome.